This is my big wormery where I breed a lot of worms and make a lot of worm castings. So I fed this with probably 100-150 kilos of fruit and vegetable waste a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of that has been converted. You can also see sawdust, cardboard, other things that I add in here, and I add a bit of lime, just crushed limestone, garden lime. So you can see a lot of worms have become very active. We're in springtime now and the worms do wake up and start reproducing and become very hungry and start growing in size during the warmer months. So they eat a lot of food waste. And here is the finished worm castings. I think I have about 15 buckets, maybe about 500 litres of worm castings harvested, and that's from last year. So the food that I fed last year, I left it over the winter, and this is what I harvested today to clean out one side of my wormery and put in fresh bedding and fresh food for the worms. Now I'm trying something different because my usual source of food waste is unavailable because of the COVID-19 situation. So I've been lucky enough to get a lot of horse manure, and I've put some of that in. I've watered it to make it nice and soft and soggy for the worms, and here on top on the fork I've added some of the worms and material that they were living in from the other side, so they'll very quickly populate that and start eating the horse manure. Here's one worm's egg that I just spot very quickly, that little yellow blob in my hand. There are going to be thousands of those at this time of year, so they will all hatch into a couple of baby worms, and very quickly I'll have an established population. So as the worms eat the food waste from the other side and run out of food, they will migrate over through, this is kind of a barrier in the centre. It's also where I throw all the bits of plastic that I find in my waste. Plastic seems to be everywhere these days. And they'll migrate through that permeable barrier and move into the fresh material that I've just put in. So hopefully in a few weeks that side will have been turned into castings and all the worms will have migrated into this side. Then I can harvest the castings and I can start filling that side up with fresh material again. So it's quite a very simple system. It just takes a bit of donkey work every few weeks, and as you can see I have got a very attractive harvest from it.